The ocean can feel like a promise, blue and beautiful. It gives us work, it feeds us, it moves us, it connects us. And sometimes, when we least expect it, it takes away what we can't even imagine. Today we explore another tragic story of the ocean, a story that claimed the lives of 30 men and women. The world knows the name Titanic and the famous love story of Jack and Rose. I think many of you have watched that movie and seen the vast hull slip beneath icy black water, feeling the catch of breath that name still causes. But how many of you knew that Titanic has sisters? The last of them was bigger, newer, and meant to be safer, designed to correct the mistakes of the past. Her name was Britannic. Laid down in 1911, launched in February 1914, and with a length of 882 feet, a beam of 94 feet, and a gross tonnage of 48,000 tons, Britannic was a massive and stunning ship. She was the largest ship ever built in the British Isles, a marvel of engineering and design. Britannic was part of Harland and Wolff's famous Olympic class, which included Olympic and Titanic. The first of these, Olympic, had already set a record as one of the largest, fastest, and most luxurious liners of the time. But even before the tragic sinking of the Titanic in April 1912, Britannic was being built to a different standard, one shaped by lessons learned from the Titanic's design flaws. Britannic was intended to carry 3,000 passengers across the Atlantic in luxury. Her luxurious interiors were rivaled only by her advanced safety features. Designed with double hulls, reinforced bulkheads, and advanced watertight doors, she was supposed to be unsinkable, a direct answer to Titanic's fatal shortcomings. The first sign of trouble for Britannic came not from the sea, but from war. As Europe spiraled into the First World War in 1914, the British government urgently requisitioned Britannic for service as a hospital ship, alongside other ocean liners. The ship, freshly launched and waiting for its maiden voyage, was converted almost overnight, and all its grandeur was replaced by military urgency. The white hull, with its large red crosses, marked her as a vessel dedicated to saving lives. Though, as we would soon learn, even the mightiest vessels of mercy are not immune to the perils of war. In 1915, Britannic set sail on her first mission in the Aegean Sea. The oceans of the world, once her stage for luxury voyages, had become her stage for something far darker: war. By this time, the ship's experienced crew had adapted to her new role. Among them was Captain Charles Bartlett, a veteran of British liners who had been through the Titanic disaster and who now carried the heavy responsibility of leading a hospital ship through dangerous waters. The ship's cargo now consisted of the wounded, soldiers returning from battlefields, medical staff, and those who could be saved. But the sea had its own way of delivering unexpected challenges, especially in the treacherous waters near the Gallipoli Peninsula. On November 21, 1916, Britannic was en route to the Greek island of Kea in the Aegean Sea. It was a calm morning, the ship's massive engines humming as they cut through the waves. But beneath the surface, something deadly was lurking. Unseen, the threat of German naval mines was present throughout the Aegean. The mines had been planted by U-boats in an effort to disrupt the British supply lines. As Britannic sailed through the Kea Channel, her massive size and military importance made her a prime target. At 8:12 a.m., a terrifying explosion ripped through the starboard side of the ship. The blast, caused by a mine detonated by the ship's hull, tore through the vessel, flooding the forward boiler rooms and several watertight compartments. The ship immediately listed to starboard. The explosion was so violent that it sent shock waves through the ship, causing fires and chaos below deck. Crew members scrambled to contain the flooding, but the damage was too severe. The damage to the ship was catastrophic, but there was still time to save her. Captain Bartlett immediately gave the order to abandon the ship, but due to the violent list, launching the lifeboats was no easy task. A distress signal was sent out, and nearby ships quickly responded. But with every passing minute, Britannic's situation worsened. Her large size, intended for safety, worked against her in these crucial moments. Because of her displacement and the violent list, lifeboats couldn't be deployed properly. Some of the boats had to be abandoned, while others were dragged underwater by the still turning propellers. The chaos lasted for 55 minutes. As Britannic's crew worked to save as many passengers as possible, the situation was growing dire. On the ship's bridge, Captain Bartlett continued to direct the evacuation. However, due to the ship's massive size and the damage sustained, water flooded in faster than the crew could pump it out. As the minutes passed, more than 1,000 people found themselves in lifeboats waiting for rescue. Captain Bartlett and his officers remained behind, ensuring as many survivors made it to the boats as possible. Some lifeboats were launched safely, while others capsized. Despite all efforts, 30 lives were lost that day: soldiers, medical staff, and crew members. At 9:07 a.m., Britannic finally disappeared beneath the Aegean waves. It was a shocking, swift end for a ship designed to be the pinnacle of maritime safety. Within hours of the sinking, news of Britannic's loss spread. The Royal Navy quickly launched a full investigation. The circumstances surrounding the disaster were troubling. The ship's advanced safety features had failed to prevent the mine from causing such catastrophic damage. While the crew had done everything in their power to save the ship and her passengers, several key mistakes had been made. Some believed that Britannic's massive size and design might have caused the flooding to be more severe than necessary. The ship had not been equipped with enough lifeboats to accommodate all passengers, and the blast had disabled the ship's pumps. In the wake of the disaster, the British government and the Royal Navy took immediate action. They enacted stricter protocols for hospital ships, including the requirement for all ships to maintain a greater distance from known minefields and to deploy lifeboats more efficiently in the event of an emergency. The wreck of Britannic lay undisturbed on the seafloor for many years. It wasn't until 1975, when renowned explorer Jacques Cousteau led a diving expedition to the site, that the wreck was discovered and documented. The hull remained largely intact, though the damage from the mine was clearly visible. The ship's propellers, still in place, served as a stark reminder of the final moments of the vessel. The lifeboats, some of them still strapped to their davits, gave a haunting image of what might have been. In 1996, divers were able to enter the wreck and explore the interior, finding evidence of the chaos and devastation that had occurred on that fateful morning. Britannic's story was overshadowed by her more famous sister, Titanic, but her legacy is no less tragic. She was a ship of great promise, of grand design and human courage. Her loss served as a stark reminder that even the most advanced technologies and engineering marvels can fall to the unpredictable forces of nature. The Titanic disaster changed the way we looked at the sea, but Britannic's disaster brought a different kind of lesson. The ocean is both our greatest ally and our fiercest adversary. Her story, though overshadowed by Titanic's fame, deserves to be remembered for the bravery and sacrifice that happened in her final moments. And though Britannic now rests at the bottom of the Aegean waves, her story continues to rise above the waves,
a tragic but inspiring tale of a ship that nearly defied fate but couldn't quite escape the pull of the sea.